Fact 1. We are born with only two natural fears, the fear of falling and the fear of loud sounds. One of the most surprising fun facts about life, all other fears and phobias are learned or acquired later in life. Fact 2. Baked beans are not actually baked. In the UK, the dish is usually stewed in sauce. On the other hand, canned baked beans are cooked through a steaming process. Bottom line? Baked beans are rarely ever baked. Fact 3. Antarctica is the only continent without any reptiles or snakes. Not only does the elusive continent of Antarctica lack McDonald's joints, but it also doesn't have any of our lizard friends. Why? Well, we all know that reptiles are cold-blooded, so they can't produce their own heat. Meaning, they get turned into popsicles in the frosty Arctic. Fact 4. Video games help surgeons perform better. According to a 2007 study, surgeons who play certain video games at least 3 hours a week perform 27% faster with 37% less errors during surgery. Fact 5. Tomato ketchup was used as medicine for 16 years. Whether you love it or hate it, this condiment once had a place in the world beyond hot dogs. However, you'd be surprised to know that ketchup only had tomatoes in it starting 1834. Before, ketchup was made with a mix of fish and mushrooms. When Dr. John Cook Bennett added tomatoes to the mix, he claimed that the antioxidants gave it a medicinal property. He had a pill salesman turn his tomato ketchup into pills and claimed it could treat diarrhea, indigestion, jaundice, and rheumatism. Fact 6. The brain is the fattest organ. The stomach may be our body's fattest part, but the fattest organ is our brain. The brain is composed of nearly 60% fat. Fact 7. Australia has the most number of venomous snakes worldwide. Australia is home to almost 100 species of venomous snakes. However, only one fatal snake bite incident is recorded per year. Fact 8. Dead people get goosebumps. One of the not-so-fun but amazing fun facts, when people die, the tiny muscles under their hair follicles contract. This gives skin the appearance of their hair standing on end. If you think death is a hair-raising concept, you are absolutely right. Fact 9. You can't move or touch William Shakespeare's bones. William Shakespeare's legacy doesn't stop at his plays and how many words he created, but even in the afterlife, he leaves a lasting display of his wit. Buried in 1616, the playwright was said to write his tombstone inscription which reads, "Good friend, for Jesus' sake forbear, to dig the dust enclosed here, blessed be the man that spares death stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones." Fact 10. Digging a hole to China is possible if you start in Argentina. One of the most intriguing fun facts about Argentina is that you could dig a hole to China from there. As a feat usually done by cartoon or comic book characters, traveling to China underground is possible in theory, but not so much in practice. Underground conditions such as heat, pressure, and lack of oxygen are just one of the few realities that keep this cartoonish concept just that, a concept for cartoons. Fact 11. A snail can sleep for 3 years. Aside from their shocking number of teeth, these small critters have some more astonishing tricks up their sleeve. Nap time for a snail can last from a few hours up to 3 years. Fact 12. A musician named Jim Sullivan mysteriously disappeared 6 years after recording an album called U.F.O. The 1969 album featured strange lyrics about leaving his family and being abducted by aliens. Sullivan disappeared 6 years later with only his abandoned car found on a desert road in New Mexico as evidence. Fact 13. The name for the Pringles shape is a hyperbolic paraboloid. The saddle shape of a Pringles chip is known in math as a hyperbolic paraboloid. Pringles were made in this shape because it allows the chips to be stacked easily and kept in place during packaging. Fact 14. There is McDonald's in all continents except Antarctica. Fast food giant McDonald's serves 120 countries with about 37,855 restaurants worldwide, but you wouldn't find a single McDonald's joint in Antarctica. Not only does it have a McDonald's-shaped void, but Antarctica is the only demilitarized continent worldwide. Instead, the entire continent is relegated for educational and scientific purposes. Fact 15. At any point in time, 0.7% of the world's population is drunk. As you are reading this, 50 million people are drunk. Fact 16. Sonic the Hedgehog isn't his full name. In fact, Sega's poster boy is actually named Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog. Fact 17. A crocodile cannot stick its tongue out. Because of a membrane that holds its tongue to the roof of its mouth, a crocodile can't stick its tongue out of its elongated snout. However, alligators can. Fact 18. Like fingerprints, everyone's tongue print is different. One of the more mind-blowing fun facts: no two tongue prints are alike. The use of tongue prints as a forensic identifier began fairly recently. Fact 19. Toilet paper in France is generally pink. What is usually found in our homes as a stark white is a lively pink for the French. Pink toilet paper is commonly found in the bathrooms and kitchens of France as a regional preference. In the 1950s, colored toilet paper was also the rave in the US. However, health and safety concerns over the dye caused it to be discontinued in the early 2000s. Fact 20. Artificial banana flavoring is based on an extinct banana. You may notice that your banana-flavored food products don't taste quite like the real thing. This is because commercially used banana flavoring is based on a type of banana that got wiped out by a plague in the 1950s. Fact 21. For out of world are of Buddhas the 10 largest statues in the. Out of the 130 largest statues in the world, China has the most at 35 statues. This is followed by India at 25 statues. It's no surprise that a chunk of these 130 statues depict Buddha, who originated from India and one of the main religions in China. The Spring Temple Buddha in the Lushan County of Hunan, China stands at 128 meters, 420 feet, and is the second largest statue in the whole world. Fact 22. Squeaky floors were the best home security in 17th century Japan. You'd expect Japanese feudal lords to live in pristine houses with the sturdiest materials, and that is mostly true, save for their squeaky, creaky floors. Nightingale floors were flooring systems that chirped when somebody walked on it. They were installed in temples and palaces to alert of intruders. The floors were built in a way that the flooring nails rub against jackets or clamps, causing squeaking noises. Fact 23. Half of all bank robberies in the U.S. are done on a Friday. According to 2011 government statistics, bank robberies in the U.S. take place most often in mid-morning, on Fridays, and in the southern and western states. Out of the total stolen $43 million in 2011, only a measly $8 million was recovered. Fact 24. Tinder made its first match in Antarctica in 2014. Tinder made its first match on the continent of Antarctica in 2014. The match in question was between two research scientists. You could pretty much find a match for you anywhere with these new dating apps. Fact 25. Men's dress shirt collars used to be detachable. To save on laundry costs, men's shirt collars were removable in the mid-1800s. This was because the collar was the part that needed the most frequent cleaning. Fact 26. The first novel in the world ended mid-sentence. The Tale of Genji, written by Murasaki Shikibu in the 11th century, is the world's oldest novel. Towards the end of 54 chapters, the story is stopped abruptly mid-sentence. Some translators believe the work is complete and intended to end that way, but others say a few pages haven't been recovered yet. Fact 27. In 2014, a missing woman on a vacation in Iceland was found in a search party for herself. A missing tourist in the Elja Canyon was found and the search party tasked to locate her. She was last seen in the tour bus nearing the volcanic canyon. However, when she changed out of her clothes, she was reported missing. The search progressed from evening until the wee hours of the morning. The tourist group, and likely the tourist herself, were in for the surprise of their lives when they found the missing person in the search party itself. Fact 28. Sneezing while traveling at 60 miles per hour makes you close your eyes for 50 feet. In a not-so-fun fact, the few milliseconds you spend sneezing can make you lose track of the distance you travel. No matter how amazing that may be, it is very hazardous for the road. About 2,500 road accidents occur in a UK winter due to colds and sneezing. Fact 29. People don't sneeze in their sleep. While asleep, humans are actually more prone to sneezing because the mucous membranes swell when lying down. However, the brain shuts down the neuroreceptors that stimulates our sneezing reflex. That way, only very strong stimuli can wake one to sneeze. Fact 30. If you make $1 every second, it will take you 2,921 years to be richer than Bill Gates. At a net worth of $110 million, Microsoft founder Bill Gates consistently topped the world's richest billionaires for 18 years. He was dethroned only recently by the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. Fact 31. February used to be the last month of the year. We may know January and February as the first 2 months of the year, but these months were actually the last couple of months added to the Gregorian calendar. Before, the Roman calendar only recognized 10 months. However, the winter period was measured in these 2 months, making February the last month of the calendar. This is also why February has the shortest number of days in a month. Fact 32. Shoe shops used X-ray machines to measure shoe sizes. Way before radiation was fully understood, shoe shops measured sizes through X-rays in the 1940s. Fact 33. The Big Ben in London is leaning so much that the incline is visible to the naked eye. Weathering has not been kind to the Big Ben. Experts estimate that it will have the same incline as the Leaning Tower of Pisa in 4,000 years. Fact 34. Australia has the most beaches in the world. A fun fact for beach lovers, at 10,000 beaches, you can visit one new beach in Australia every day for more than 27 years. Fact 35. The national animal of Scotland is the unicorn. One of the fun facts that'll make you feel like we're pulling your leg, the unicorn is officially Scotland's national animal. The unicorn is the Celtic symbol of purity, innocence, masculinity, and power. Considering the fact that people believed they were real for around 2,500 years, there's no wondering why the official coat of arms of the United Kingdom features a unicorn. Fact 36. The directors of the film Despicable Me wrote their own language for the Minions. It may sound like total gibberish, but the famed, or infamous, Minions of the Despicable Me franchise speak an actual language. The directors combined Spanish, Italian, Chinese, Filipino, Tagalog, French, and Russian to create Minionese. Fact 37. Alaska had a cat mayor. Another interesting fun fact, the Alaskan town of Talkeetna had a cat as mayor for 20 years. You read that right, this feline was affectionately called Stubbs, for his lack of a tail, and served as the town mayor from 1997 to 2017. Stubbs didn't really have to do much official business, since the little town was merely a historic district and tourist spot. Fact 38. There is an island in the Bahamas with only pigs as residents. Another interesting fun fact, Pig Beach is an otherwise uninhabited island in the Bahamas mainly populated by feral pigs. There's no confirmed theory of why these pigs ended up there in the first place, but some speculate that they came from a shipwreck, a business tactic, or an abandoned ration of food. Fact 39. Eating polar bear liver can kill a human being. If eaten in one meal, 30 to 90 g of polar bear liver can be fatal. Its high concentration of vitamin A is toxic to humans. Fact 40. Insects are attracted to light because of the moon. Bug behavior can be especially strange, but scientists predict that night insects, like moths, are attracted to lights because they use the light of the moon to navigate the Earth way before artificial lights were made. Fact 41. Lobster used to be considered the cockroach of the ocean. It may be found in the most luxurious menus now, but lobster was once eaten regularly by the homeless, slaves, and prisoners. However, lobster started to be seen as a delicacy after World War II. Fact 42. DreamWorks Studios was created by a former Disney employee. Jeffrey Katzenberg produced some of Disney's biggest hits, namely The Little Mermaid, The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin. With the success of these classics, he requested a promotion. However, due to internal conflicts, he got fired instead. It was then that he founded DreamWorks Studios with other familiar film personalities, Steven Spielberg and David Geffen. Fact 43. Australia has a bright pink lake. Lake Hillier is a pink lake in west coast of Australia. Although colored lakes seem to be a norm in the world, Lake Hillier is the only one that scientists have yet to figure out. To this day, reasons for its pink coloration remains to be theory. Fact 44. Netflix spent $0 on marketing its DVD rental business, but over 6 million people still used it. Remember how compact discs feel like in your hand? The frustration of wiping it clean when it starts to skip? Nowadays, it's all Netflix and chill. However, one of the coolest fun facts about Netflix is how it owned the marketing game in 2014. Despite spending nothing on marketing, sales for DVD rentals soared at an all-time high that year. Fact 45. Spiked and studded dog collars were an ancient Greek invention. Who would think that the spiked collars we see on cartoon characters or the local scene kid had ancient origins? Ancient Greek herders would give their sheepdogs sharply spiked collars as protection from wolves while they guarded livestock at night. Fact 46. A full jumbo jet tank has enough fuel to drive a car around the world 4 times. One of the most mind-blowing fun facts, the average jumbo jet burns roughly a gallon, approximate 4 liters, of fuel every second. Compared to the average car fuel tank, this capacity can fill a car with enough fuel to circle the world 4 times over. Talk about a road trip. Fact 47. Artist Salvador Dali would get out of paying at restaurants by drawing on the checks. The renowned artist responsible for Chupa Chups' logo was not a fan of paying for his meals. Often, he would draw on the checks, making them priceless works of art. He may be stingy and obsessed with money, but you gotta give the guy credit for his genius. Fact 48. Jellyfish almost caused mass nuclear explosions in 2013. In the extremely warm summer of 2013, several nuclear power plants across the world were forced to close down because of jellyfish. The sudden increase in jellyfish clogged the filters that cooled down the reactors, which led to the power plants to be shut down for immediate maintenance and safety measures. Fact 49. A seaman once set a ship on fire to get out of work early. Definitely one of the don't try this at home fun facts. A civil employee once started a fire that ravaged the nuclear submarine USS Miami, which was docked at a naval shipyard. Though the cause for the fire was unclear at first, civilian employee KCJ Fury soon admitted to starting the fire for an early dismissal from work. Fury was sentenced to 17 years in federal prison and ordered to pay $400 million in damages. Fact 50. Tea bags were an accidental invention. When Thomas Sullivan distributed tea samples in small, silk bags in 1908, his customers dumped them in water, bag and all. Now, this seems like the normal thing to do, but this was during a time when you could only drink tea through big strainers. From Sullivan's samples, the conventional tea bag was born.